One of our top stories this morning, a Montana man has been charged with breaking into a residence and killing his estranged wife. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports 47-year-old Joseph Paul DeWise of Bozeman appeared in Justice Court last Friday on a deliberate homicide charge for the death of 35-year-old Lauren Walder DeWise in Belgrade. The Sunday past, he did not enter a plea. Another woman, 32-year-old Ashley Van Hemert, was critically injured in the shooting. Belgrade police say they're still investigating. Gallatin County prosecutors argued for $1 million bail, while defense attorney Valerie Cairns argued that $50,000 was more than reasonable and that her client is presumed innocent. Justice of the peace Brian Adams set bail at $800,000. Court records say Lauren's friends and co-workers told investigators she reported her husband had been physically abusing her and had threatened to kill her if she left him. Advocates say domestic violence is worsening in Gallatin County, including the death of the woman we just described, killed in Belgrade. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports 35-year-old Lauren DeWise was shot to death January 7th. Another woman living in the home told police she was attempting to leave an abusive relationship. The Montana Domestic Violence Fatality Review Commission says 12 domestic violence deaths have been reported in Gallatin County since 2000, including 7 in the past 5 years. Haven, a domestic violence shelter in Bozeman, said it's helped 980 survivors of domestic violence last year, up from 953 in 2016. Missoula County Attorney's Office clipped along at a fairly average pace this week, filing 10 new felony charges. County Attorney Kirsten Papps was on Talkback on Friday and said half of those charges were for the same type of crime.
5 of those were partner family member assault cases, one of which involved a bystander calling 911, which we very much appreciate because that is what saves so many of these cases from becoming more serious, is when bystanders pick up the phone and call 911 when something's just not right. We'd rather have it end up being not a big deal than having to respond to a homicide.
Most of the rest of the cases involved drug or alcohol abuse.
One of them was a felony DUI that involved a single vehicle crash on 93 where the suspect allegedly fled, leaving a stranded passenger. There were 2 theft cases charged. One was a stolen car, and then there were 2 new drug cases charged. One was a methamphetamine case, and then there was a heroin case.
Papps said the heroin case also involved marijuana and a concealed weapon. Methamphetamine was also later found inside the car that was stolen in one of 2 theft cases. Authorities say a 17-year-old whose body was found along a highway in Blaine County died of hypothermia. The county sheriff's office said Jeremy Tincher's body was discovered near U.S. Highway 2 last Thursday between Harlem and Fort Belknap. The Great Falls Tribune reports the state medical examiner determined the cause of death to be hypothermia. Tincher was last seen walking along the highway late Wednesday. He apparently wasn't wearing adequate clothing for temperatures that, with the wind chill, reached 20 below zero early Thursday morning. Officials say it's the second hypothermia-related death in 2 weeks in Blaine County. On Friday, Montana DPHHS announced a new program called the First Years Initiative would be putting to use nearly $300,000 of federal funds. Deputy Director Laura Smith outlines the initiative's goals.
One of our goals is to braid together our existing resources to serve children at those early stages and the early intervention opportunities. In the last year, the year ending in December of 2017, 10 out of the 14 fatalities involve children under the age of 1, and that's not acceptable to us.
Smith said the groundwork's being laid right now to create home visitor positions that will work directly with families that have been involved in child abuse and neglect.
They do everything from linking pregnant women with prenatal care to teaching home safety and parenting skills, promoting strong parent-child attachments. These are professionals who provide a wide variety of services. The first piece of this first-year initiative is identifying and providing federal funding for 5 home visitors in communities across the state.
The first 5 communities are still under consideration. It's unclear where or exactly when the home visitors will start knocking on doors, but Smith says they'll be in place this year. When it comes to good advice, Safe Kids Missoula says take it from a teen. Safe Kids Coalition Coordinator Kira Huck said Friday, Safe Kids Worldwide is presenting the Take It From a Teen video challenge sponsored by General Motors.
The competition asks teens to create a 60-second video that answers a driving and or passenger safety question. So, something like how would you tell your friends to slow down? How would you tell your friends to buckle up? How would you tell your friends not to text and drive? And just ask them to kind of be creative in how they would get that message across.
Huck said there are some rules that teenagers need to follow.
They're going to mostly be judged on the message and creativity, and then also just kind of sticking to that 60-second limit. And there are a couple other contest rules. We want them to use appropriate language and gestures, and we don't want them to do anything that's dangerous. We don't want to see them jumping over cars or breaking the law, things like that in their video. But the winning video is something that we certainly will use for some of our messaging.
The competition's open to teens aged 13 to 19 who live in Missoula, Ravalli, Granite, Powell, Lake Sanders, and Mineral counties. Teens must submit their entries online to safekidsmissoula.org by February 1st, not a whole lot of time, where all the rules of the contest are also listed. This week, the Montana Department of Commerce announced the recipients of more than $500,000 worth of workforce training grant funds. Sean Becker with the Montana Office of Business Development explains.
This grant program is a small amount of money compared to the total cost of a business to hire somebody and train them. But the hope is to put a little bit of money in the pockets of business owners to go ahead and make the big decision to hire somebody and get them trained up. About $600,000 a year to support this program, which will assist in the creation and training of close to 150 new jobs.
8 different businesses statewide received grant awards. One of the largest went to wrought iron fireplace manufacturer Iron House in Hamilton.
Iron House is adding 21 new employees, and those are technical positions that maybe some of the local workforce doesn't quite have the skills necessary to get up to speed right away for that organization. And so this program will provide a small amount of money, about $5,000 per new employee will be reimbursed for the training costs.
In Missoula County, Elite One Source Nutrition got funds for 19 new jobs. True Home Montana got funds for 3 new positions. Our News Talk time is 6:12.
Newstalk, KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station. Patchy areas of fog will be possible this morning. Otherwise, look for a good deal of sunshine today with high temperatures in the mid-30s. It will be windy at times with wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for Missoula's KECI 13.